Welcome everybody to today, where we celebrate the Wednesday of the 34th week of Ordinary Time, and today is November 26, 2025. And so if we reflect upon the Holy Gospel for today, Jesus is reminding each and every one of us about the time of where we are going to be persecuted. He's reminding us that all of us are going to have a day to which God is going to call each and every one of us to go into heaven. And if we remember from yesterday's Holy Gospel, one of the core themes that I have mentioned from yesterday's Holy Gospel is the fact that all of us should be prepared, because we do not know where we're going to be heading when it comes time to our final passing, when it's our final breath, to which we're going to close our eyes for all eternity. And so God reminds each and every one of us to prepare ourselves. So how do we usually prepare ourselves for today so that each and every one of us can see the face of Jesus? We gotta first up look up at God, because there are many times where other people are going to judge all of us despite what we are doing in our lives. And so as I listened to the homily given at Mass today, I noticed that this father gave a story to which I could personally relate. And it is where here a person is going into adoration, and there were many other people who said to this person, "Hey, why do you pray so much? Shouldn't you be focused on other things?" And she felt deeply judged, to the point where she had actually went to the father and had asked, "Father, why did she get judged?" And the father continued to tell her that did these people give her food, money, all of the support that she needs? And she was like, no. And so the father gave a beautiful message and said that then don't worry about what other people have to say about you, because that right there, you should mind their business. So in other words, we should not be focused too much on what other people think, but rather we should focus on our own intentions and what God is going to think about us. Now, how can we tell if we are very, very close to God? We will know that we are close to God when we establish this inner peace, to which it is truly God that is speaking to each and every one of us. And we are able to recognize that God is speaking to us, because His voice is going to be very, very clear when all of us here experience this inner peace. And so Jesus in today's Holy Gospel, if you guys notice, at the very end of the Gospel, Jesus reminds each and every one of us that we are worth more than the sparrows that we have on our hair. In other words, Jesus reminds all of us that we are worthy of Him, that each and every one of us are created special and unique in the likeness of God. And this is something that each and every one of us here should strive to take into consideration as we continue to prepare for our final judgment. If we are created as a unique image of Christ, then what should we do in order for us to be able to get to Christ? Because some of us here have different missions compared to others. All of us here needs to first look upon ourselves and how we are doing in the relationship to which we establish with Christ. And all of us here may not be perfect human beings, but rather We are human beings. We are very, very vulnerable to Christ. Sometimes we struggle too much to the extent that we look down. But Christ wants us to look back up so that each and every one of us here are able to unite ourselves with Christ so that we can continue to listen to the voice of Christ as we could strive to continue to fulfill His word for today. So as I wrap up today's gospel reflection, let us reflect upon the words to which Jesus is speaking to each and every one of us, as there is a present moment to which Christ is really wanting to bring Himself to all of us. Let us allow ourselves to listen to the voice of God. Ask Him, how should we prepare for you? Because you have mentioned that we are all